Welcome to SilverC Review. Gotta switch hands. This podcast will have an introduction, a movie review, a movie recommendation, some jokes and quotes, and then an Inside the Intorvert section. Don't even have my face in the frame. So, if all the times are listed down below, if you if you want to skip to a certain section or just listen to a certain section, feel free to do so. So, if you're viewing this, you can see all the crazy stuff that's going on. This is definitely going to be a test. I'm not going to do this type of video again. Not planning on it, at least. But I wanted to, whenever I switch to audio only, I'm going to be doing this. Like, I'm going to be walking around and just using the microphone and reading from my phone. And I wanted to kind of get a video of that, so that way I can kind of see, or that way you can see what it's like whenever I'm doing audio only. So it should be interesting to try to read my phone and walk. The area I chose is one that I've recorded probably like 5 of my episodes here. So as we're walking by, I'll be kind of stopping to be like, hey, look, I recorded one here, and also I'll be walking probably one of the more popular trails out here. So if people pass, because there were like 3 or 4 cars where I parked, so there's probably people out here. So if they pass by, I'm going to stop talking and just turn my camera to the side, because I don't want to have them in the video. But I'll keep it running and everything. And it might be a little shaky. There's going to be some times that I'll turn the camera around to show you certain areas where I'm not in the frame. And I'm not sure if I'm even going to be in the frame the entire time. My head's probably going to be cut off. I'm really bad at knowing where my frame is. Usually I'm looking through a viewfinder or something. So that'll be fun to deal with. Also, this episode's probably going to be longer, just because I'll be showing stuff and trying to get to certain areas and walking around and going probably on random tangents and stuff, and if I have to stop talking when people pass, so it might be a little bit longer of an episode. I kind of feel like a vlogger right now, because this is all they do is walk around with a camera like this. I wonder how strong their arms are, because I feel like this would really get tiring after a while. Maybe, I do see them stop a lot and like put the tripod down and stuff, so maybe that's what they do to recover some arm strength. This will also give a very good comparison on the sound quality of the microphone versus my camera, because I've got the camera so close to my face, I should be receiving pretty good volume on audio, and then of course I've got the microphone on, so I'm interested to see the difference. I know the microphone will be way better, but it'll be neat to see. And the sun's probably going to be behind me the entire time, so if it blinds you, my apologies. I think that's it for this page. Yep, okay, so we're going to go on to the movie review. The picture will just be on the screen somewhere. Obviously, being this close, I can't like hold my hand up. And it'll be Halloween, the newest Halloween. Going to give this one a 4 out of 10. Oops, sorry I blinded you. And there will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, really there's not a whole lot to spoil. I mean, if you've never seen a Halloween movie, then maybe, but it kind of goes just like all the other ones. I'm going to pause for just a sec so I can show off the stream here. Try to do this without shaking too much. Look, it's my shadow. Alright, it was funny. I was trying to figure out where my framing was, and then I realized that I've got the monitor on the back of my camera I could have just looked at. Because I was like, I wonder where I'm aiming it at. I was like, oh, I can see the back of it now that I have it turned around. So that was kind of stupid. So the courtyard, the way they had that courtyard set up, that was really, really odd. Like, I don't know, like it had a whole bunch of the area that wasn't used, and they were spaced out, and I don't know, that was a very odd way to set up prisoners, I guess. The starter music is so satisfying. I love the theme for Halloween, which I'm going to reference that later as well. The family drama that they had going on in the first movie really wasn't that entertaining. Again, kind of like on Venom, I understand that it needs to be there, but it was just kind of boring. I didn't really think Jamie Lee Curtis's character was going to be so traumatized. Like, in the, I may have just missed it, but in the trailers, I thought she was the badass type that was out to kill him, and throughout the entire movie, she was going to be like, yes, he's free, now I can kill him, and stuff like that. But it kind of took me off guard whenever in the first movie she was like emotional and a wreck and traumatized from it. When the bus crashed with him on it, I would have liked to see the actual crash. Like, the aftermath was, watching him kill people and stuff was cool, but I would have liked to see the actual crash. Like, it would have, I feel like at that point in the movie it would have been good for some more action to happen. So, she's in the United States and she calls the bathroom the Louvre. Thought that was kind of weird. Like, I know what it means, and if someone asked me that, because I've never heard anyone say that in the United States, I'd be like, what? Like, just like that guy. I'd be like, what'd you ask for? So, that was kind of odd. Randomly thrown in there. Oh, we've got people. So I'm going to stop for just a sec. Although, this is actually, I'm going to turn it around so you can see the area that I recorded one of my podcasts. I'll try not to get the people in it. Try. Okay, hopefully I didn't get them in it. Can't really see the area very well, but you could at least see the green water, so you should be able to recognize that from when I did one of the podcasts there. I've gone blank on which one. Okay, so finally he starts killing, and right off the bat it's nice and brutal, so that was satisfying. Look at this mushroom. It's kind of almost like a spider web around it or something. That was neat. I found some mushrooms earlier. They were really cool. Actually, I'm going to put a picture of them right now on the screen. So if you're watching this, you can see a picture of those. If I can remember to put the picture in there. They were just little bubbly mushrooms. Looked really cool on a tree. So haven't these kids seen a scary movie before? You never make out in a scary movie. I know technically it didn't affect them, but still, don't do that in a scary movie. Okay, this is where I reference the theme again. They did a really good job of the theme, and it kind of makes you wonder if the theme is that prevalent in the other movies, and I just didn't notice it. Like, I haven't seen them in forever, so maybe it is. But they did a good job of whenever he was going to be present having the theme, so I really like that. Kind of like Jaws or something. It was pretty funny when Jamie Lee Curtis smacked that cop for sneaking up on her. One of the few funny moments to me. So, I felt like... Okay, I'm going to stop. Here is another place I recorded one of my podcasts. Much quieter now. I actually recorded it standing like right over there. And this was the podcast that I was out of focus on. Alright, we'll continue. Although I forgot where I was. Oh, so I felt like the movie was finally getting good, and they were finally starting to do a bunch of action and stuff, and it was already over halfway through the movie. So, spiderweb. So that was kind of annoying. I was like, man, it's finally getting good and it's almost over. I totally thought Jamie Lee Curtis's character was a goner whenever she started fighting him. I mean, it was just like, hang on, I got too many spider webs on my face. Okay, it was just like, it didn't seem like she was overly prepared. I'm not sure if she was trying to just lure him into the house or what, but it was, she was definitely not getting the upper hand on him. She totally pulled a Mike Myers whenever she disappeared. When he throws her off, she lands on the ground, and then all of a sudden he looks out and she disappeared. I thought that was perfect. Like, that completely turned the tables. Not so much on him, but they did like a swapping the roles there for a second, so I thought that was really good. It was definitely a nicely built house that she had made just for him, to trap him and kill him. So that was really good. I liked all the preparations that she had done. Like I said, if she had been this way earlier in the movie, like the trail kind of cuts off. If she was showing that she was prepared and was like ready and all that stuff throughout the entire movie, I think it would have been a little bit better. This one's going to be harder to see from here because I don't feel like walking all the way up there. But this is another place I recorded one of my podcasts. Can't really tell in the view, but that rock there, you can go back behind it, and that's when I did the podcast when I had the flu. I can't remember if I knew that I had the flu at that time or not. It was weird. Like, I haven't had the flu in years, and I ended up getting it from somebody I was living with because she made a really stupid mistake I still haven't forgiven her for, and ended up giving it to me. Because I'm got a really good immune system, so about the only way I can contract it is through, like, well, I drank after someone is how I got it, and she had drank on something, then didn't tell me, and then I drank from it and got it. So, but I didn't know it was flu, and I'm always, when I get sick, I'm like, it's nothing big, and then I couldn't stop like throwing up, so I was like, huh, I guess I do have it. But even then, I only missed like one day of work, so it was not fun, and I was still able to get out here and record my podcast and everything. I may have to walk fast to get to the other place I wanted to go to, because I have to backtrack all this area. So after I get done this, I'm going to try to walk a little quicker. But I'm also not going to walk all the way up here to this one, but this is the area that I recorded the podcast, and it was too loud. I actually had to redo the recording for Dunkirk, because you couldn't hear me. Or it wasn't so much you couldn't hear me, it was just very annoying to listen to. But way up there in that black area is where the waterfall is. You can probably hear it. I would assume you can hear it. Can't really see much of it. Could zoom in, but I've got my phone in the other hand, so it's kind of complicated. And actually, I'm gonna go around, but if I went up through, hard to see. If I went up through that crevice there, that's the final area that I want to get to that I recorded a podcast in. That was the one that, I think that was Tomb Raider, that had the bat fly by me, or fly underneath me or something. So, we're going to try to get up there. It'll probably be right at the end of this podcast, but it's the last area that I want to go to. How did I get up here? Okay, give me a second to navigate these rocks. Okay. Jamie's daughter definitely tricked me as well whenever she acted like she had the breakdown, and she was like, I can't do it, I can't shoot him, help me. And then he pops around the corner and she's like, gotcha. Like, that totally tricked me too. I was like, oh man, she can't do it. And which, to be honest, I feel like he wouldn't really care one way or another. Like, if they're trapped down there, it doesn't matter if they shoot him. Like, he seems to be almost immortal, so I feel like he would have just gone down there regardless of what she said. And that also kind of made it sound like he was planning everything, or he was like listening to what people said and acting based on that. And I mean, throughout the entire movie and series and stuff, I've always assumed that he doesn't really hear people that much. He's just out to kill. Like, whatever's going on in his head does not match the reality. So that was a little weird, but regardless, she tricked me as well. I'm supposed to be walking faster and I'm not doing it. Okay, so they supposedly kill him at the end, but is he really dead? I mean, does he really ever die? Actually, I got Jason and Mike Myers confused, because I was gonna say that I thought it was a Halloween movie that was in space, and I really liked that movie, and I thought that was the Halloween H2O. I was incorrect. It was a Jason movie. I think it's called Jason X, or Jason 10 or something like that. But essentially, he's in space and he gets destroyed, but they've got these, it's like futuristic, and they've got these nanobots that can heal him. Let me get out of breath going up this hill quickly. And so they repair him, make him into like this super killer with all this metal on him, and it was really cool. I was like, I liked that movie better than this one, but it wasn't even Mike Myers. But anyways, I got to looking up like the differences between Jason and Mike Myers, because I was like, man, now that I'm thinking about it, they seem like very similar characters. I think Jason was inspired by Mike Myers. Hang on, let me get to the top of this hill. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is I like that other movie better, and it wasn't even him. So I don't have anything to compare this Halloween movie to. But it wasn't a terrible movie. I definitely wouldn't want to watch it again, and it's not going in my collection. But I don't know if I have any of the Halloween movies in my collection. It's harder to walk uphill and talk at the same time. Okay, I think this movie, it just took too long to get to the action. Like I said, it was over half the movie was just setting up for the final battle. And I thought the majority of the movie was going to be her trying to get to him and trying to kill him and stuff. So that's going to be it for Halloween 4 out of 10. We're going to go on to the movie recommendation, if I ever get my breath back. This one's going to be Homeward Bound. This is a 1995 movie. I'm trying to block the sunlight here. And this is a fun movie. Has the themes like never giving up, friendship. It's got, they're talking animals, but spiderweb. But they're not and I'm blinding you, sorry. It's talking animals, but they don't move their mouth, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they don't. So it's just kind of like in their head or something. And each animals have very different personalities, so that's kind of neat. The description, which I'll have to stop and read. Before the Sievers leave for a family vacation, they drop off their pets, Chance, a bulldog, Shadow, a golden retriever, and Sassy, a cat, at a friend's ranch. But when the animals start to think they've been left for good, the three embark together on a treacherous and thrilling journey to find their way back home through the California wilderness. And pretty much that's it. It's the family loves them and everything. Each animal's connected to a certain kid and kind of reflects the personality of that kid. So that's also kind of neat. And they get dropped off and they're scared they just got left there forever. So they decide to try to find their way home. And then once the person who owns the ranch discovers that they're gone, they contact the family. So then the family turns around and the family's trying to find the animals and the animals are trying to find the family. And it's kind of a, they keep missing each other. I'm going to show you the stream real quick. Sort of a stream. I love that sound. I'm probably moving the camera way too fast. When I do videos, a lot of times, that's something I notice, that it's hard to watch because I spin it around so quickly. So, sorry about that. Luckily, you won't have to experience this again. Hey, look. Berries. Focus. I demand you focus. It's on automatic focus. Why is it not working? Well, that's lame. Focus. I don't know. I hope I'm in focus. I'm kind of worried now. I've got it on automatic. It should automatically focus. That's new. Someone put a rock against the tree. Okay, so where was I? So yeah, it just shows the adventures of the dogs and the journey they go on. I think it may be called Homeward Bound: An Incredible Journey or something like that. And I'm blinding the camera again, sorry. But it's really good, so check it out, Homeward Bound. I'm going to go into the jokes and quotes. And I'm not going to do the drum sound for the jokes because I'm using my phone for recording. I just don't have the hands to do it, to unplug everything. So next time, I will go ahead and unplug my phone and do it. But that's when my camera is going to be on a tripod. And whenever I do the MP3 only, I'll do, or the audio only, I'll do, I'll add it in later on. So I won't have to worry about using my phone. Actually, I'm going to stop here for just a second because this is the last area. See if I can jump across this. Alright. So, down there is where I recorded. It was actually, I'm going to move. Hang on a sec. It was actually right there. Yep. Yeah, right there is where I recorded that one podcast. It was nice and cool. It's really cool out here now. And I remember getting water on me, and there's water running down, so maybe that's where it came from. Okay. Okay, so the jokes. Do fish ever get thirsty? If you know the answer, let me know. And, hiss. I forgot. And this one, I actually have the sound effect as part of the joke. A sheep, a drum, and a snake fell down a cliff. Ba-dum hiss. Get it? Yeah, good. Quotes. The key to success is playing your hand you were dealt like it was the hand you wanted. And I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to go over there. Wipe these spider webs off my face. That's the only bad thing about walking in this area. There's always so many spider webs. I've kind of referenced it before, how no one receives the same things growing up, and you have to appreciate what you have, but you also have to use what you have like it's what you wanted. Like, you can't sit around and complain that someone else got a better hand or anything like that. It's way better just to use what you have. I've got a low angle on this the entire time. It's better to just use what you have and, like, don't complain about it. Like, pretend like that's what you wanted and just deal with it. So, we're gonna look off this little cliff edge here. Get some pretty fall colors. As I drop my camera and destroy the video. I can actually see how long this video is running doing it this way. There. So that's pretty much it for that quote. The other one, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. And this one's very true. Just because someone's, and this is big for like on the internet, just because someone makes a comment or is trying to rile you up or something like that, you don't have to bother with it. I mean, that's exactly what the majority of the people want. And if you you're not going to change people's minds. I mean, very rarely, even in arguments, or not arguments, debates, they talk about, the debaters I've heard, like popular debaters, they talk about how you're not there to change the people that you're debating, their minds. You're there to spread information to the public and maybe change the public's minds. And I'm kind of the mindset that the majority, well, at least for me, I don't feel like my mind can really be changed that much unless I find out new information. Like if I discover information I didn't know, then yeah, sure, maybe I'll change my opinion. But a lot of times you can't reason somebody out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. But I like listening to debates and everything. But I'm just saying that you don't have to argue with every single person. A lot of times you're not going to benefit, and you're just giving them exactly what they want. So just let it go, like I said last time. Alright, that's going to be it for jokes and quotes. We're going to go on to the Inside the Introvert section. So at work, I've mentioned that I'm on the little committee thing, and there's a council, and then each one has, and I think there's 5 committees. So each committee has 3 months that they're assigned to clean the fridges. And, because I mean, we've got a ton of people that work for us, so the fridges get bad, people leave stuff in there, and it goes bad and starts to smell and everything like that. This is actually a different stream, although it might look very similar. That was a quick turn, I shouldn't have done that. So anyways, the last 3 months, I've been on the committee that's been cleaning though, and last year it was me and the committee's president. We were the only 2 that were cleaning the entire fridges in the building. So there's 8, 12, about 16 fridges throughout the building. So that was quite a bit of work. It took us about an hour every Friday. We just do it once. And I'm actually kind of ruthless. Like, we send out an email that says you need to put your name and date on stuff, and if you don't have a name and date on it, it's getting thrown away. And then when we go to clean it, they're like, well, kind of go easy and like give them a little bit more time and stuff like that. And for me, I'm like, no, we sent out the email that said no name and date. So if there's no name and date, I'm throwing it away. Like, there's no excuse. But we have to be kind of nice. And so I've gotten into the habit this time of, if I see something that doesn't have a name and date, I'll put a sticky note on it that says, please name and date this by the next Friday. And then if it's not name and dated, I have no qualms about throwing it away. So that's what I've been doing. But anyways, I wish you'd just put me in charge of it. The lady that sends out the email, because you have to get approved to send an email to the entire floor, and the lady that sends them out she's busy with stuff, I understand, but she set up an email reminder. For some reason she set it up at 2:15, and it doesn't go out until 3, or we don't clean fridges until 3, but she set up an email reminder, and that's how I always remember. Like, I know I always snooze it for 30 minutes until it's like almost time to do the fridges, so I know exactly when it's coming up. And I function very well on email reminders. I don't understand why other people don't, but either way, she's constantly forgetting to send out the email, and it's annoying for me because I'm the kind of person that, even though I don't really have anything else that is going to interfere, if we're going to do it at 3 every week, and we've said we're going to do it at 3 every week, I want to do it at 3. That's just what we discussed. So, leading up to 3 p.m. on every single Friday, I go into, like, 10 minutes before, I go into this annoying state where I just get frustrated because she hasn't sent the email out. I'm like, we need to give, for me, I would send it out at 2:45 every single day on the dot, and we would clean fridges at 3 o'clock. That would give 15 minutes to anyone that needs to go and get stuff out of the fridge before we throw it away. But okay, I'm back. I hit the 30-minute mark, and which I said earlier, I probably figured I would, but that's fine for this video. I always have to go watch the video because it cuts off a lot earlier than it closes the shutter. And I'm pretty sure I'm out of focus for a good portion of this video. For some reason the camera likes to focus on the trees. Maybe if I held it more like this it would focus on me. I'm not sure, but either way I'm going to be a little out of focus, but luckily you won't have to suffer through a video like this again. And it's still kind of cool. I feel like the other parts of the video will outweigh me being out of focus the majority of the time. So anyways, I was talking about, and I can hear voices, so there might be someone coming this way. But at the same time, the other trail is like right there. Like they're very close together, so they might be on that one. And I'm also reaching the end of the trail. I could go, yeah, we'll go do that. So anyways, I'm going to end the video by climbing this really brutal hill. And you can hear exactly how out of breath I get. So I was talking about the cleaning the fridges, and I'd send the email out at 2:45. That way you give everyone time. And I can't remember how far I got into the story, but it seemed like I'm glad that it's over with, because this week was our last week, just simply because I don't have to worry about the emails anymore. Like, I don't mind cleaning the fridges. I think I said last, it's weird, I don't know what part in the story I said what. But last year, it was just me and the president that cleaned all the fridges. And this year, I was just cleaning one fridge, because everyone took over all the other fridges in the room I was in. And I was fine with it. I was like, I cleaned them all last year, I have no problem just cleaning one this year. And then one of the girls that cleaned most of them around me left the company, so I started cleaning hers. And someone came into the area I was cleaning them, because there's 8 of them, and she cleaned 4 and I would clean 4. And then she just kind of stopped coming in, which is, again, fine with me. So I started cleaning all 8 for the last couple weeks. And I'm fine with that. It's the waiting for the person. It's a cool tree. Waiting for the person to send out the email was my biggest annoyance out of all that. So we're going to go on to the next one. Our little council thing has a monthly meeting, and they decided to turn it into a potluck. And I've gotten burnt out on potlucks just because of my own team. They do one once a month, and that's just way too much for me. Like, I can't afford to constantly buy stuff enough to share, and like, cause I don't even, like, I eat rice every day. I don't spend a lot of money on food, and I also don't cook hardly anything, so it's not like I'm gonna be able to cook a big dish or something like that. I just don't have the stuff required to do that because I don't do it. We're gonna do some water crossing here. Sorry, I couldn't talk and do it at the same time. So, and right now my team is discussing doing potlucks twice a week, or every 2 weeks instead of every month. Just like, whatever. So I decided just not to participate in potlucks anymore. And because of my values, if I don't bring something, I'm not going to eat anything. Like, I don't eat anything at all. And even when people bring it up, I'm like, oh, I didn't bring anything, so I'm just not going to eat anything. And so when they turned our meeting into a potluck, it was very annoying for me, because they sent out several emails saying, even if you're not participating in the potluck, you still need to come to the meeting because it's our monthly meeting. It's like, well, that's stupid. And I don't mind people eating around me, but I was more worried about people like questioning why I wasn't eating, and then I'd have to explain the values, and they'd say it's stupid, just go get something, there's plenty of food. And I'm like, well, then I feel bad because I didn't bring anything, so I don't want to do that. So that's what I was worried about. And but it wasn't too bad. I want to show this tree too. This is like one of my favorite trees here. It's so cool. It's like a creature or something like that. Love this tree. It's like a little face. It's like, rah. Okay. It wasn't too bad. Whenever I went, the annoying thing though was they didn't start the actual meeting until like 15 minutes after the time it was supposed to start. So it was kind of like I had to just sit there, and I got on my phone and started playing on my phone. He's like, this is stupid. I'm fine not being on my phone if we're gonna actually meet, but just sitting around letting people eat, I'm gonna get on my phone because it was annoying. So the first 15 minutes were kind of annoying, but no one really questioned why I wasn't eating, and that's cool. And then they finally started the meeting, and it only lasted about 15 minutes. They discussed what they needed to discuss, and then released us, so I immediately left. So it wasn't a full hour like I thought it was going to be, and wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I wonder if you can see this spider. Nope. Darn focus. The last story. Ironically, I'm going back to the flu from earlier this year that I referenced a little bit ago. That's one of my stories. I had forgotten that I put the story on here. I'm just going to stand here. Hope that's not poison ivy. I don't think it is. But don't laugh at me, because poison ivy can actually get that big. And it's all over the place. See, look. That vine is poison ivy. Like, it is all over the trees here, and I am indeed allergic to it. So, I'm just going to sit here while I do my last story, and then we'll go climb the mountain, and then I'll end it. So the last story is when I first got the flu. I mentioned that I was in denial about it, and I was like, no, I don't really have it. And I had scheduled a job, like I do manual labor stuff. I had scheduled a job with a guy that day that I first got it. It was a Thursday. I think it was a Thursday. Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. And so, like, I ate my lunch, and I ate rice with spaghetti sauce on it, so it was red. And probably about 2 p.m., probably about 1:30, I guess, I was going to get off at 3 p.m. to go work for him, so about 1:30 I got to feeling nauseous, and I don't usually get feeling nauseous, and I hate feeling nauseous, so I avoid it at all costs. And I was like, well, this is weird, and I thought maybe I just, maybe I didn't eat enough that morning, and I had just eaten a whole bunch at lunch, and that just made me not feel good. So, and I can't remember, I don't think I actually threw up at work, but I felt like I could at any point. I was eating like Pepto-Bismol and stuff like that. So, wasn't feeling all that great, but I was like, I'll be fine. I was like, I just need to get this job done with him, and I'll be alright. And for whatever reason, I'm able to work myself like, I go past my limits and end up getting nauseous quite a bit. Like, if I'm running or riding a bike or anything like that, I can easily make myself throw up just on accident. And it's like, once I get to that point, I can't really stop it as much as I want to. But as soon as I throw up, I'm back to feeling great. So it's weird, but it's been that way my entire life. I remember back in junior high when I was in track and we'd be running, I'd constantly get sick and have to throw up. So that's just part of it. And doing these manual labor jobs, I run into that quite a bit because I'll exert myself past the point I should and then end up getting nauseous. But so that's what I did, and the job was to dig a hole down. They had busted a pipe and it was leaking water, and I had to dig a hole down around it so we could cap it off, and everything would solve itself. So I'm there digging, and I started to get hot because this was, I guess it was spring, so it wasn't overly warm, but I overheated, and it was kind of like in a farm area, so I just kind of went behind the shed and threw up. And of course, it looked bad. Luckily, him and his wife weren't like standing out there because they were in and out of checking on me. And of course, it looked bad because I was throwing up red or spaghetti sauce rice, so it looked red and scary. But it's like whatever. So I kind of buried it and put some dirt on top of it and went back to digging. And then it happened again. Like, I felt great after I threw up, so I went full blast and started digging and trying to get it all out. And this mud was unlike any mud I've seen before. Like, it was the stickiest mud ever, and the hole kept filling up with water, so we'd have to drain it out, and it was a job. And but anyways, I ended up throwing up again. This time him and his wife were standing there. I was like, hang on just a second. And I went over and threw up, and they could probably see it, and they're probably like, what in the world? And I was like, I think I'm just getting too hot or something. And I was still in denial that I was actually sick. It wasn't until later that night that I threw up again for no reason. Like, I wasn't exerting myself. And so yeah, that was an extremely awkward, introverted experience. And I'll probably never work for that guy again. And that's perfectly fine. So it's always interesting when I do my little manual labor jobs. Alright, I'm going to show you this log thing here, and then I'm going to walk up this hill, and I'm actually going to turn the camera around so you can kind of see as I'm walking up it, so you'll just be able to hear me, not see me. And I'm going to go ahead and mention that there's an introduction video out there, so if you want some ideas on what my podcast is going to be like, just go to the introduction. All my videos are on YouTube, so if you want to see what you're hearing, it's all on YouTube. All the older videos and podcasts are also on YouTube, so any of the older stuff, if you want to listen to it, it's on there. I put the newer audio versions on SoundCloud. They stay on there for like a month or two. And I've also got Instagram and Twitter, so I post like funny stuff on there, so if you ever want to check those out, or if you need to contact me for any reason, you can use those. I've been asking for movie recommendations, which I haven't received any because no one listens to this, but I think there's enough movies now with the end of the year that I won't really need recommendations. I mean, if you feel like it, feel free to throw them out, but I don't feel like I need them anymore. There's enough big movies coming out that I should be set for the rest of the year. So that's kind of going to be it. We're going to show you this real quick. Alright, now we're going to walk this hill. It's ironic because I'm going to go up in it and come back down. But I mean, I have to sit down once I get to the top and catch my breath. Because this hill is pretty brutal. I don't know if you'll even be able to tell the elevation in the video. But my heels are not touching the ground anymore. Alright, getting close. Legs are burning. Alright, we made it. It's very rewarding being up here, though. Alright, that's going to be it for SilverC Review. Make sure to take care of yourself, because there's only one you out there.